What if the glowing object racing through our solar system right now isn't just another comet? What if it's something far more deliberate? A machine from another star, designed to look exactly like a harmless piece of ice and rock? It sounds like the plot of a sci-fi movie, but the truth is stranger. A new interstellar visitor named 3I Atlas is speeding past our cosmic doorstep, and it's raising questions scientists can't fully answer. 3I Atlas, also known as C2025N1, is not like the comets we're used to seeing. It didn't form here. It didn't orbit our sun for billions of years. It's a wanderer, a traveler from another star system, and only the third confirmed object of its kind we've ever detected. Discovered on July 1st, 2025, by the Atlas telescope in Chile, it appeared as a faint speck moving quickly against the background of stars. But that faint speck was moving at nearly 61 kilometers per second, fast enough to escape the sun's gravity and continue its journey back into the interstellar void. Before continuing, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Right away, astronomers knew this wasn't a regular visitor. Its path was hyperbolic, meaning it was never bound to our star. And its direction, sweeping in from the constellation Sagittarius, near the center of our galaxy, hinted that it had been traveling for millions, maybe even billions, of years before we ever saw it. It will swing past Mars in early October, approach the Sun at about 1.4 astronomical units on October 30th, and then slingshot away forever, never coming closer to Earth than about 1.8 AU. But before it disappears into the dark, it is giving us a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to ask a question that is as unsettling as it is fascinating. What if this thing isn't just a comet? At first glance, 3I Atlas behaves as you might expect. It's shedding gas and dust, forming a bright coma and a long tail that stretches millions of kilometers. It even has what's called an anti-tail, a strange stream of heavy particles pointing toward the sun instead of away from it. A rare but known feature caused by the physics of dust ejection. Yet some details still feel off. Its acceleration doesn't perfectly match what we'd predict. The brightness varies in curious ways. And the fact that it is the third interstellar object we've seen in less than a decade has scientists wondering if we are missing something. Imagine for a moment that 3I Atlas isn't a natural chunk of rock and ice but a probe. A piece of technology disguised to blend into the cosmic background. If you were an advanced civilization exploring the galaxy, what would you send? Not a shiny metallic spacecraft that announces itself to every telescope. You'd build something inconspicuous, something no one would question. A comet. From the outside, it would look and behave just like a natural object. But inside, it might be packed with sensors, data collectors, maybe even communication systems waiting to be triggered. There's logic behind this idea. Our own species is already trying to send small, self-sufficient probes to other star systems. Concepts like Breakthrough Starshot plan to launch ultralight craft propelled by lasers, traveling at a fraction of light speed to study nearby stars. If we're thinking this way with our primitive technology, imagine what a civilization with a million-year head start could do. A disguised probe could enter a system, scan planets for signs of life-study atmospheres, listen for radio signals, and then silently continue on its way. All while every astronomer on those planets logs it as just another comet. Some scientists have even speculated that interstellar objects like Oumuamua, which visited us in 2017, could be exactly that. Oumuamua's unusual shape, lack of a visible coma, and slight unexplained acceleration led Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb to suggest it might be artificial. The mainstream scientific community disagreed, but his theory reminded us that sometimes the most extraordinary explanations can't be entirely dismissed. 3I Atlas, while different, more traditionally comet-like, still fits into this bigger mystery. If advanced probes exist, they wouldn't all look the same. Some might be disguised as asteroids, others as active comets. Here's where things get even more intriguing. If 3I Atlas were a probe, what would its mission be? One possibility is simple observation. Maybe it's scanning Earth and other planets for signs of technology. Maybe it's searching for biosignatures, gases like oxygen and methane that could indicate life. Another possibility is that it's a messenger, part of a network of autonomous probes spreading through the galaxy. This concept, known as a von Neumann probe, suggests self-replicating machines could travel between stars, making copies of themselves using local materials and continuing onward indefinitely. If even one civilization created such probes, they could, in theory, explore the entire galaxy in a fraction of its lifetime. And what if this isn't the first time they've been here? Perhaps 3i Atlas isn't exploring Earth for the first time. Perhaps it's simply returning, checking on a planet it scanned long before humans built telescopes. That thought alone reframes how we see the universe. We assume we're observers, peering into the void. But what if we re the ones being observed, and have been for longer than we realize? Of course, there's another angle to this story. One that has nothing to do with aliens and everything to do with us. Human beings have a tendency to categorize. We see something moving through space, glowing with a coma and a tail, and we call it a comet. That label gives us comfort. It makes the universe feel familiar, predictable. But history shows that nature often surprises us. We once thought meteors were atmospheric phenomena. We once believed all planets orbited the Earth. And now we know our solar system isn't T-isolated. Objects from other stars pass through it, bringing material and information from beyond. It's possible that in our rush to label 3i Atlas as a comet, we're missing a deeper truth. And yet, when we strip away the speculation, the scientific explanation remains the most likely. 3i Atlas is almost certainly a natural object, a fragment from another star system that was nudged out of its birthplace and set adrift in interstellar space eons ago. Over millions of years, it traveled silently through the void until, by sheer cosmic chance, it crossed paths with our sun. Its hyperbolic orbit, its coma, its tail, all of these point to a natural origin. Even the small anomalies in its behavior can likely be explained by sublimation jets, uneven heating, or complex rotational dynamics. But here's the thing. The line between science and imagination is where some of our greatest discoveries begin. Asking, what if, isn't it just daydreaming? It is how we push the boundaries of what is possible. When Oumuamua appeared, it forced us to rethink what interstellar objects could look like. When 2i Borisov followed, we realized such visitors might be more common than we thought. And now, with 3i Atlas, we're reminded that the universe is still full of surprises, and that sometimes the most extraordinary questions start with the simplest curiosity. So, is 3i Atlas a frozen relic from a distant star system, or something far more deliberate? A cosmic messenger dressed in a cloak of dust and ice? We may never know for sure. What we do know is that it's a traveler from beyond, passing briefly through our corner of the galaxy before disappearing forever into the dark. And as it does, it leaves us with a haunting question. How many more of these visitors have already come and gone, unnoticed, because we never thought to look closer? And if one day, one of them stops instead of passing through, will we recognize it for what it truly is?